Hi, I wanted to make this video to talk to you about Suboxone and the effects it's had on me since I started taking it. I was never a serious opiate user or abuser. The first time I did any type of an opiate was in prison. Somebody asked me if I wanted to do a wash. I had no idea what it was. And for those of you that don't know what it is, it's the remnants in the spoon after somebody has already cooked up a pill. So there I was a week into the penitentiary, and I was doing leftover remnants of somebody's pill that they used a needle to suck up the cooked pill and inject. So it didn't agree with me, and I moved on to cocaine and spent most of my life in jail because of it. I'm now in a halfway house in the middle of nowhere. I just finished 11 years for a drug-related murder, crime spree, prison escape, bank robbery, 3 bank robberies. I got 18 years. I did 11 out of that, and here I am. Suboxone. So the way I got addicted to Suboxone was a few years ago. I was in prison, in a medium security prison, and this guy that I knew came up to me and he's like, I just got this piece of pill, and I put it in, he had an upside down pop can. That's how we cook our drugs in jail, and he's like, I just did a shot of this stuff, and he was wired. So I was like, he's like, you want to do the wash? And I'm like, oh, sure, why not? Who cares? Maybe I'm going to get hepatitis. Am I going to get AIDS from this? Well, fuck, I'm going to get high. Who cares? So I did the wash, and I got a tingle, and I got sick. I got really sick. And then I got my own Suboxone, and there was like 2 guys out of like 600 people in this jail. There's like 2 guys that had a monopoly on this drug. And so because the doctors or whoever, the medical professionals, think that the maximum dose is 24 milligrams, and in reality 24 milligrams can get 24 people high. You can take those 3 8-milligram pills that they give you, and you could break those up and chop up 24 lines, and every guy that's not a serious drug user is going to get rocked, and they're going to be dancing for 12 hours high, like as was I. But I got really sick. I got really, really sick because I was injecting it, and I didn't know the dosing. Who would think that a milligram, 1 milligram, 1 out of 1,000 parts, it's 1 part. It's just a speck of dust. It's amazing how potent that chemical is, and I sometimes wonder who these people are in these pharmaceutical companies, and I just picture these evil people that are like, what kind of drug can we make that's so strong and addictive and legal and we can get people hooked on? And now, the new drug dealers are the pharmacy and the drug companies, where we have to go to pick up our pill every day or drink our methadone or methadose stuff so as far as my Suboxone use, I'm on day 3 of clean. I was down to 2 milligrams. I feel horrible, as expected. Yesterday was really rough. I was up all night, just horrible, just feeling horrible. I'm sure you people that are doing it or have done it. I've done this. This is like 25 times in the last 2 years. I've done this cold turkey stop, and I've always just broken down, because now I know I can, right now, if I had a mill and I snorted that mill, I would be so raw. I'd be so happy for the whole night. My night would be great. I'd be eating and cooking and texting or serving the internet, whatever, whatever gets you, what you do, whatever your trip is when you're high on this stupid fucking drug. And so now, by tomorrow, I'm going to be over the physical side effects of the Suboxone detox, and it's going to be all psychological from now on, because I'll always remember the feeling of snorting that pill or sticking the needle in my arm of that Suboxone. And interesting side note, I just read on the internet, and I don't know if this was like an old thing or something, but this doctor wrote that when you crush the pill, that it releases the Narcan and renders the pill inert, so you're not able to actually get high off of it. And I'm thinking, is this seriously how they marketed this crap? We all know you can crush the pill and snort it. I've taken the strips, the plastic strips they give you in jail, diverted them, and I take a tweezer and I stick the plastic strip in my nose, and I get twice as high as when I snort the powder. So if that's the case, if that's how that pill has been marketed, it's blatant mismarketing of the pill. I mean, it reminds me of the Concerta, the 54 milligram Ritalin pill that they started handing out in jail because they said it was not divertible, and because you couldn't crush it. And basically all you had to do was put the pill in your cheek, come back to your living unit, get a razor and cut the pill apart, and you had 54 milligrams of high-grade Ritalin, which started an epidemic in the prison system, and now there's a Suboxone epidemic in the prison system. And I always wonder, how do you people in the public feel knowing that people like me, I've killed people for drugs in my addiction, and I've done horrible things over the years, all in the pursuit of drugs, and we go to jail and they hand out these drugs like Wellbutrin and Ritalin and Dexedrine, and then the downers, the downers like Suboxone and methadone and all these other tranquilizers. So the entire jail population runs on this illicit medication market, and we're all engaged in this illegal activity, and then most of us eventually get released back into society. And what did we learn? I learned that instead of going out and smoking crack and violating my parole conditions, I can crush up a Wellbutrin and snort it and get basically the shitty feeling of like coming down on coke, and then it's enough to discourage me from my jonesing for wanting to do cocaine. Yeah, it's a shitty cycle. And as for the Suboxone, I mean, I don't know. I've done it for the last over a year. I've done it virtually every day. I've quit like 25 times, where I went like 2 days, 3 days, and then I went back on it. But other than that, I've consistently been doing it, and I've very rarely done over 8 milligrams in a day. The times when I couldn't divert my 8 milligram pill and I had to take it, I got so sick. It was horrible. So my dose I was able to manage on like 2 to 4 milligrams every second day, and that would give me like this unstable sort of high, and then I'd start to get sick. And then I know I can go to that pharmacy, and I can just have the pill, like the chunks that I had diverted, and I can snort it, and I'm gonna go straight back up. And so that's how I was misusing my Suboxone. And then I switched to 2 milligrams. I didn't want. I knew I had to, because I was abusing my 8 milligram pills. So I switched to 2 milligrams, and I just started going every day for like a couple weeks, and then I was stable, like more or less mentally stable, because I wasn't on that roller coaster of withdraw high, withdraw high, withdraw high. I was offered to go down to 1 milligram, and it's something irked me, the thought that the person at the pharmacy, they're like, we can just break your pills in half for you. And I thought, this person that's giving me this drug is just going to get paid to snap my pill in half, and there's just something about it that just pissed me off. And I thought, you know what, screw these people. I don't want to contribute anymore to this industry of medicating people such as myself. And as for the side effects of my last year of using Suboxone, well, as I previously mentioned, the sort of mental ups and downs, and ebb and flow of emotion that comes with abusing that medication. And then there's the internal guilt of somebody such as myself, who I try to stay healthy and I work out and I eat good, and I won't take an aspirin, but you put some drugs in front of me and a needle, I'll stick it in my arm. Um, but otherwise, I'd like to say it hasn't affected my health too much. I've heard some people say that it causes baldness. I definitely feel like my hair's gotten thinner, and that's depressing. But I'm 42. I mean, it's inevitable that you peak, and then it's after 40 pretty much. I'm just clinging to my the remnants of my physical peak now, basically. So that small 2 milligram dose that I stopped taking a few days ago, it was horrible. In the last few days, it's been awful, and I'm hoping I'll have the power to not do this drug again, because it's shit. It's just shit. We're just poisoning ourselves for nothing. It's just the continued cycle of addiction, of of relapse and repent and repeat and relapse and repent and repeat. That's just over and over. We just do the same stupid thing. To those of you struggling with the Suboxone, I would say, just tough it out. Tough it out. Even if you can't, you're not gonna be able to sleep, and you're gonna be in your bed. I was in my bed last night, and I'm like, I can't do this. I got dressed and I sat outside in the freezing cold. YouTube, watching depressing YouTube music videos. I actually Googled sad music songs, and sat there watching that videos, and that's all I could do. I have conditions. I can't leave this place. I can't just walk out. After 10 o'clock, I'm stuck in here. So that's sort of a blessing in disguise, I suppose, because if I could just walk out anytime I pleased, I would probably. There's a good chance I'd probably walk to the emergency room and just get a prescription filled, emergency prescription for my Suboxone, and get it right back on it. Because, like I said, I know now, if I did a little bit now, I'd just be rocked, and I feel so good, and this shitty feeling of like, I have to face reality now, and I have to face life without the chemical veil of Suboxone that sort of sugarcoats the shitty sub-proletarian existence that is my life of the ex-convict. So what else? Just try to occupy yourself, stay away from bad influences, and don't let your mind trick you into putting yourself in situations where people are going to help facilitate your relapse, because your mind, that demon in your head that tells you, that's picking at you, you need to use, it's going to try to find a way to get you to put yourself in a place that's going to facilitate your relapse. It's going to make it easier to do, and you have to be aware of that. You have to be on that at all times. As far as the psychological, 2 weeks after this, I've heard from what I've heard, there's depression and shitty feelings like that. Nobody wants to be depressed, really, but I just hope that I can make it myself. I mean, I've been doing drugs for 25 years. I've gone from, I do both extremes. I exercise and I eat healthy, but I do drugs like a maniac, and it's almost a curse to be a healthy drug addict, because most people that I started doing drugs with 25 years ago, they're dead, or they look horrible. Not like I would say there's not too many crackheads that can do that, and I'm natural. I don't take steroids. I don't I don't do any performance enhancing drugs, and I don't even take supplements anymore. I just work out hard, and maybe for some of you that is the key. Get into the gym, even if you got to put your headphones on and run on the treadmill until you can't run anymore, and then when you can't run anymore, just run some more until you're emotionally exhausted, till you're just everything's gone that you have. And when you walk over to that gym, or you're on your way to the locker room to change, you just feel exhilarated, and it's a good feeling, and it doesn't cost anything other than the gym membership, But yeah, so I can't give you some magic cure-all. Like, I've seen a lot of these how I quit Suboxone YouTube videos, and it's these people, giving their story about how to do it and stuff, and everybody's different. Everybody's got something different, and I don't have the magic. I don't have the answer. I can just tell you from my experience that one of my biggest fears when I was like 16 and I embarked on my criminal career was I knew that decades down the road that I was going to be one of those people that would say, "Don't do what I did," and I knew that. I knew that in my heart, and I was embarrassed for that because it's embarrassing to be one of those ex-convict, don't do the things I did, and I've taken drug use to the extreme, like I really have. I've done it all. I've put everything you can put in a needle that could fit in a needle and suck up in a needle. I've done it, and I put it in my arms, and I'm here to. I'm alive to talk about it, and I hope that I can somehow inspire you to just find it in yourself to quit. Just dig deep, and just stop. Whatever demon is plaguing you, whatever that voice in your head that says, put this drug in your body. That voice, just fight it and try to get over it, and try to live as normal as you can. And yeah, I wish you the best. And Suboxone's shit. It's evil and it's stupid, and don't support these stupid drug companies. And don't start doing heroin either, or fentanyl, or any of that other stuff. It's not any better, and you're gonna die from it. It's gonna kill you, or it's just gonna numb your ambition for life, and you're just gonna grow old, and you'll lose your looks, and you'll lose your physique, and you'll be left with nothing but just a broken shell of what you used to be, and you'll have nothing but memories. You'll be left spending your days living in the past, remembering what it used to be, like how you used to look or used to feel, and so yeah, best wishes, and I hope you can quit, and I hope I just did this in one take. I never put a video on YouTube, and I did it in one take, and I hope it made some sense. I hope you can get something out of this. So yeah, take care, and so long.